Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every life when the clouds gather, when the winds howl, and the path forward seems obscured by trial and hardship. It is in these moments, not the easy ones, that the strength of character is truly tested. Anyone can smile when the sun shines, but the real measure of a person lies in their ability to summon light from within when all external light seems to have vanished. You must understand that adversity is not your enemy. It is your instructor. Every challenge, every hardship, every setback carries within it the seed of equal or greater benefit, but only if you choose to see it. The world does not shape you with comfort. The soul is not forged in the fires of ease. It is pressure, resistance, and struggle that awaken the dormant power within you. To stay positive in the face of adversity, you must begin with your thoughts. For thought, dear friends, is the starting point of all achievement, and it is also the foundation of all defeat. Your mind is your workshop. Whatever you allow to dominate it will eventually shape your destiny. If you dwell on your troubles, they will expand and multiply. If you focus on what you can control, your attitude, your actions, your perseverance, then even in darkness, you will find a way forward. Let no man tell you that success is reserved for the fortunate. Fortune, as most see it, is merely the byproduct of persistence. When life becomes difficult, most people look for escape. Few look for opportunity. But those who do, those rare individuals who meet their hardship with a sense of resolve, discover that within their greatest pain lies the blueprint for their greatest progress. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. That is where your power lies. It is not in what the world does to you, but in what you do with what the world gives you. When faced with obstacles, ask not, "Why me?" but instead, "What can I learn? How can I grow? What strength can I build from this?" Every person who has ever risen above their circumstances has done so because they refused to be broken by them. They held a vision in their minds that was stronger than the reality they faced, and they refused to let go. You must learn to do the same. Plant in your mind the image of the person you wish to become, the life you wish to lead, and the impact you wish to make. Hold that image with such intensity, such clarity, that not even the storms of life can shake it from you. Fear and doubt are natural visitors during hard times, but you must never give them a place to stay. They are thieves of potential. If you feed your faith, your fears will starve. If you focus on gratitude, negativity will lose its grip. Each day, take stock not just of what is missing, but of what remains. If you have breath, you have a chance. If you have a mind, you have tools. If you have a dream, you have a compass. Surround yourself with voices that lift you, not those that bury you further in despair. The opinions of others are just that, opinions, but the belief you hold in yourself, that is your truth. Nurture it, protect it. Build it up every single day, especially when you feel like giving in. When the days grow long and your strength runs thin, remember this: you have already survived every difficult day in your life up to this point. You have made it through heartbreak, through disappointment, through failure, through fear. And yet here you are. That is not weakness. That is proof of resilience. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect to feel hope. Create hope in imperfect conditions. Do not wait for all the answers before taking a step forward. Take that step in faith, knowing that action breeds clarity and motion defeats stagnation. Even the smallest step in the direction of your vision is a victory over despair. It is not the absence of trouble that makes one strong, but the decision to rise, to persist, and to believe when everything around you says otherwise. Make that decision daily. Speak life into your future. Walk with conviction even when your knees tremble, and remember that the darkest nights produce the brightest stars. not because they wish to shine, but because they refuse to be swallowed by the dark. So when life gets tough, do not shrink, expand, do not retreat, advance, harness the power within you, quiet, steady, unyielding, for the trials of today are shaping the triumphs of tomorrow, and those who stay positive through the storm are the ones who will one day lead others into the light. Keep in mind, it is not the size of the problem that determines the outcome, but the size of your will to overcome it. Many falter not because their challenges are insurmountable, but because their vision is too small. They look only at the difficulty, not beyond it. They forget that the human spirit was not made to yield, but to rise. The world has seen countless men and women who faced mountains and moved them, not with brute force, but with unwavering belief in their purpose and a refusal to give up. When the weight feels unbearable, do not ask for a lighter load. Ask for stronger shoulders, and then go to work building them. Strength is not something you inherit. It is something you forge, day by day, struggle by struggle, thought by thought. Just as a sculptor chips away at marble to reveal a masterpiece, adversity chips away at fear, doubt, and weakness until your truest self stands revealed. Welcome the process. Welcome the refinement. Welcome the moments that force you to dig deeper than you thought possible. One of the greatest tools you possess is the power of decision. Decide, no matter how dark the hour, that you will not be defeated. Decide that your spirit is stronger than your circumstance. Decide that you will not just survive but thrive. And once that decision is made, let nothing sway you. The world respects those who move with purpose, even when that purpose is known only to them. That inner certainty, that invisible backbone, creates momentum where others see only stillness. You must also guard your speech. Words are not idle, they carry power, and they shape the world around you. Speak life even when you feel death. Speak victory even when you taste defeat. Speak peace even in the middle of chaos. For your words will soon become your beliefs, and your beliefs will become your actions, and your actions will shape your destiny. Never forget, there are those who are watching you quietly, wondering how you respond to adversity. Whether you know it or not, your resilience is planting seeds of courage in others. Your decision to stay positive becomes a permission slip for others to do the same. You become a lighthouse not by avoiding storms, but by standing tall in them. And in doing so, you give others hope that they too can weather their own. Focus too on service. One of the fastest ways to lift your own spirit is to lift someone else's. When you extend a hand to someone struggling, you remind yourself of your own strength. You create a ripple of positivity that returns to you in ways you may never predict. And you realize that purpose, not comfort, is the true source of joy. When life is hard, don't just look inward, look outward. Ask, who can I help today? Who can I encourage? Who needs the strength I still have? Discipline is another ally in hard times. It is easy to slip into laziness when life hurts. But every act of discipline is an act of defiance against despair. Wake up early, write down your goals, move your body, speak affirmations aloud. These simple, repeated acts become the scaffolding upon which a new life is built. Do not underestimate the power of routine. It gives you stability when everything else feels unstable. And then there is faith, not in a religious sense, but in a practical one. Faith is the ability to believe in the unseen, to trust that the night will not last forever, that your efforts will bear fruit, even if today they seem futile. Faith allows you to walk through the valley and keep walking. It gives you the courage to make the call, take the step, show up again and again until the breakthrough comes. And it will come, but it only comes to those who do not give up when it is most tempting to do so. Understand that pain is temporary. No storm lasts forever. The nights may feel long, but the dawn is always on the way. What you're experiencing now is only a chapter, not the entire book, and you are the author. You choose how the next page is written. You choose what meaning to assign to this moment. You choose whether it breaks you or builds you. Choose wisely. Choose powerfully. There is a fire within you that hard times cannot extinguish. It is the same fire that has driven men and women across history to create, to lead, to conquer. It lives within you still, waiting not for ideal conditions, but for a command, a decision, a declaration, a commitment that says, no matter what, I will rise. Speak that command into your own soul daily. Carry yourself as if you already are the person you are becoming. Hold your head high, walk with purpose, and let no moment, no failure, no criticism convince you that you are not enough. You are more than enough. You are capable, you are resilient, and if you hold on, if you keep pressing forward, there will come a day when you look back on this season not with bitterness, but with gratitude, because you will know it made you. It shaped you, it strengthened you for something greater, and in that moment you will realize staying positive wasn't just a coping mechanism. It was your superpower. It was your rebellion against mediocrity. And it was the very thing that allowed you to turn trial into triumph. Understand this deeply. Success is not a destination reached in comfort. It is a path carved through struggle, often in silence, often without applause, and often when no one is watching. Many want the crown but are unwilling to carry the cross. But greatness is not for those who dabble. It is for those who decide, once and for all, that nothing, not pain, not fear, not failure, will keep them from fulfilling the vision planted in their hearts. When life tests you, it is not to destroy you, it is to reveal you to yourself. The question is not whether you will be tested. The question is whether you will stand. Every man and woman who has ever achieved anything worthy has walked through darkness. They have questioned, cried, stumbled, even fallen, but they have risen, and they rose not because they were lucky or gifted or chosen. They rose because they made a decision not to stay down. The world respects those who keep showing up. When others quit, they remain. When others complain, they act. When others wait for change, they become the change. This power resides in you, not in your circumstances, not in your background, not in your resources, but in you. The ability to take whatever life hands you and build something meaningful with it, that's your inheritance, that's your gift, but it only comes alive when you choose to see yourself not as a victim of life, but as the architect of it. And architects do not wait for perfect weather to build. They build in rain, they build in wind, they build when the foundation shakes beneath them, because they know that vision is more powerful than the storm. When you encounter resistance, and you will, it is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's often proof you're on the right one. The path of least resistance leads to mediocrity. The path of purpose is uphill. It requires effort, discipline, focus, and above all, belief. Belief in what you can't yet see. Belief in what you can't yet prove. Belief in the unseen roots growing even when the soil looks barren. And when belief falters, action must take its place. Sometimes you will not feel strong, but feelings are not facts. Action is what moves the needle. When the mind fills with doubt, move your body, do something, anything. Wash a dish, go for a walk, read a page, make a plan, call someone, start something. Momentum, even the smallest spark of it, breaks the chains of despair. The mind craves movement, and once you move, your spirit follows. Refuse to entertain the voices that tell you it's over. Refuse to accept the whispers that say you're too late, too old, too damaged, too far gone. Time only matters if you believe it does. The world has seen people start over at 40, at 60, even at 80. What mattered was not their age, but their intention. A made-up mind is more powerful than the ticking of any clock. Make up your mind, and once it's made up, close the door to doubt. Doubt is a thief that dresses in reason. It speaks in calm tones, it sounds wise, cautious, protective, but in truth it is cowardice masked as logic. Doubt has never built a dream, it has only dismantled them before they had a chance to live. Be bold, be unreasonable if you must. The world needs more people who are irrational enough to believe that light can come from darkness, that success can come from failure, and that joy can be built from ashes. Look to nature if you need proof. No flower blooms year-round, no tree bears fruit every season. There are periods of stillness, barrenness, silence, but the roots are growing, the energy is gathering. The next season is preparing, so too must you learn to honor your winters, the times when nothing seems to work, the times when you question everything. These are not signs of death, but signs of gestation. The seed does not fight the soil it surrenders to it, and in that surrender, transformation begins. So do not despise your current season. It is necessary, it is sacred, it is shaping in you the exact qualities needed for the next level of your life. Patience, humility, empathy, endurance, resilience. These are not built in success. They are built in the crucible of hardship, and once forged, they never leave you. Guard your vision, especially when it's fragile. Dreams, when new, are like flames. They flicker, and the winds of life will try to blow them out. But your job is to protect the flame, keep it alive through words, through actions, through constant reminders of where you're going. Write your vision down, read it daily, speak it aloud, build an altar around it if you must, because when the world says impossible, it is your responsibility to say not for me. And remember, positivity is not naivety. It is strength. It does not ignore the reality of pain. It chooses not to dwell in it. It does not deny the presence of obstacles. It chooses to believe they can be overcome. A positive mind is not blind. It is focused, and what you focus on you feed. Focus on the mountain and it grows. Focus on your ability to climb and that grows too. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your power, not those who coddle your limitations, but those who challenge them. Those who speak truth to your potential even when you've forgotten it. One voice of belief in your corner is worth more than 100 voices of doubt. Find those voices, and when you can't, become that voice for yourself. Do not fear being alone. Solitude is where clarity is born. It is in the silence, when all distractions fade, that you hear the still, small voice inside saying, "Keep going. You're not done yet. There's more in you." Trust that voice. That voice is your compass, your guide. It does not shout, but it does not lie. Follow it, even when it leads you off the familiar path. Keep your habits strong. When life shakes you, your habits will hold you. Daily disciplines, no matter how small, are the foundation of transformation. They are proof to yourself that you still believe. Each act of consistency is a vote for your future. Each day you persist, you cast another vote. And eventually, those votes add up. They shift the scales. They create momentum. They rewrite the story. Be careful what story you tell yourself. Words create worlds. If you constantly speak of lack, of loss, of limits, that is the reality you build. But if you speak of strength, of growth, of vision, you begin to rewire your very biology for greatness. Your mind listens to everything you say, so feed it truth, feed it courage, feed it dreams. Do not measure your progress with the world's yardstick. Comparison is a poison. It blinds you to your own growth. It makes you forget how far you've come. Your only competitor is the person you were yesterday. Are you more disciplined, more focused, more forgiving? Then you are winning. Stay in your lane. Tend to your garden. Your time will come. You may not see the fruit yet, but if the roots are deep, the harvest is inevitable. Do the work. Trust the process. Speak the truth. Love deeply. Serve faithfully. Persist daily. That is the formula. It is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. And once you understand that, once you embrace it, nothing, not disappointment, not delay, not even failure, can stop you. And even now, even in this moment, you are being shaped for something more. Life may not make sense now. The pieces may not fit. But in time, you will look back and see that every tear watered something in you. Every trial awakened something dormant. Every loss made space for something greater to grow. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Hold that truth close, and finally, remember, the fire that refines also illuminates. If you endure, if you believe, if you stay the course with conviction and clarity, your life will one day become a beacon to others, not because you avoided the storm, but because you walked through it with grace, with power, and with an unbreakable spirit. That is how you stay positive when life gets tough, not by avoiding the fight, but by learning to smile in the midst of it. There will come a moment when all the effort you've poured into your days, all the grit you've summoned during sleepless nights, will reveal its purpose. The pain, the confusion, the silence, it wasn't wasted. It was working on you, carving out the version of yourself that can carry the dream you've been entrusted with. Some burdens are not punishments, they are preparations. They are weights placed on you not to break you but to build muscle where weakness once lived. So keep lifting them, keep moving forward, and when your legs tremble, remember they are still moving. That is what matters. Do not allow temporary emotion to make permanent decisions. Feelings fluctuate, especially in hardship, but the path to purpose is not paved by emotion. It is paved by commitment, commitment to the life you're building, commitment to the values you stand for, commitment to the vision you carry in your heart, even when your eyes can't see its fulfillment yet. Hold fast to that vision. If you don't water it, no one will. If you don't fight for it, it will fade, and if you abandon it, you will always wonder who you might have become had you stood your ground one more day. The road will never be without its challenges, but you are not alone in facing them. Across the world, in different languages and circumstances, others rise each day to meet their own battles. Some with more resources, some with less, but the one thing they all share is the decision to try. And so must you, because effort compounds, belief compounds. Every day you rise with determination, you gain ground, whether you see it or not. And when the dust settles and the story is told, let it be said that you stayed strong, stayed faithful, and stayed positive, even when life was at its hardest. Let that be your legacy. In the end, staying positive when life gets tough is not about denying reality or pretending hardships don't exist. It is about choosing to rise above them with unwavering faith in yourself and your purpose. It is about seeing every challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The power to overcome lies not in circumstance, but in your mindset, your decisions, and your relentless commitment to keep moving forward. When you embrace this truth, no obstacle is too great, no setback too final. You become the author of your own destiny, a beacon of hope, strength, and perseverance for yourself and for others. Hold fast to this, and you will find that even the darkest storms give way to the brightest dawn.